So week 3 in the 2019 NFL season is done. Let's talk about what we saw, shall we? 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah! That's how we do things. It's Gardner Minshew's world, and we're just all happy to live in it. Unless you're a Titans fan and you look and you say he was taken in the 6th round, and he looks like he's in a whole different class than our first round pick, former number 2 overall guy, Marcus Mariota. Jeez. Gardner Minshew threw a couple of touchdown passes on Thursday night, and the Jaguars beat the Tennessee Titans 22-7. Josh Allen and the Bills hold off a pesky Bengals team in the second half to win 21-17 and move to 3-0 and a tie in first place in the AFC East. How about that? Week 4 against New England should be a lot of fun. Josh Rosen might have gotten his first start, but the result was exactly the same. The Dolphins still sucks. Frankly, people eventually realize that he sucks too. The Cowboys coast and roll over the Dolphins 31-6. Late touchdown, though, helped them cover the spread. We see your tricks and shenanigans here, NFL. We see them! We see them! The Packers forced 6 sacks, 2 turnovers, and they grated their cheese all on the Broncos' fucking chins, beating them 27-16. The Packers now at 3-0, taking advantage of that early, very home-based schedule and staking out a claim to first in the NFC North. Jacoby Brissett threw for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Indianapolis Colts were able to hold on and beat the Atlanta Falcons 27-24. For all the distractions about Andrew Luck and his eventual retirement, you look at the Colts now. They're playing hard. Jacoby's playing all right. 2-1 is 2-1. They got a chance in that division. Mahomes threw for a whole bunch of yards, over 300 yards again, a couple of touchdowns, and the Chiefs win an exciting battle over the Baltimore Ravens 33-28. Dalvin Cook goes over 100 yards again. Adam Thielen scores both a rushing and receiving touchdown. And the Minnesota Vikings dominate and destroy the Oakland Raiders 30-14. Yeah, 34-14, excuse me. Ugh. The Patriots kind of coasted. And what more can you say? Brady threw for over 300 yards. Their defense was dominant. The Jets suck. Even the special teams and defensive touchdowns they scored in the second half doesn't change the fact that their offense did not move the ball, did not score. Patriots coast easily, don't cover the spread, 30-14. The Lions hung tough. They tried to Detroit it up yet again, but they found a way to hold on the road against a Eagles team that we're starting to change our opinions on a little bit. The Lions moved to 2-0-1. Hold off the Eagles 27-24 in Philly. Yikesy daisies. Kyle Allen. Maybe Cam Newton could go be a wardrobe consultant. No, I don't want to take fashion tips for him. But Kyle Allen throws for 4 touchdowns. The Panthers win their first game of the season on the road in Arizona 38-20. And at this point in time, if you're a Panthers fan, you say, why even bother with Cam? And it's a valid question. Daniel Jones gets his first start of his NFL career here in week 3. And you could just see the difference in that Giants offense. A quarterback that can actually move, my God. And while he made some rookie mistakes, he threw for 2 touchdown passes, over 300 yards, ran for 2 other touchdowns, brought the team back, late game magic, game-winning TD, overcoming a brilliant, dominant performance by Mike Evans, who turned into Janoris Jenkins' toaster. Giants win their first game of the year, 32-31. Deshaun Watson led a second-half comeback. The Texans managed to hold on, beat the Chargers 27-20 in a second straight kind of ugly, shouldn't have been, but ultimately was loss for this Chargers team. The 49ers overcome 5 turnovers and still find a way to persevere and just basically hold off the sloppy-ass, sucky-ass, Tomlin should be fired, Pittsburgh Steelers 24-20. The Saints behind replacement quarterback Teddy Bridgewater played a total team game. You get touchdowns on special teams. You get touchdowns on defense. And they go into Seattle, and they really dominated. The final score is no indication of how dominant the Saints' performance was. They hold on to win 33-27. Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp combined for a couple of touchdowns. Baker and the Browns stunk. Rams going to Cleveland into the dog pound, and they win on Sunday night 20-13. And then, of course, my Bears, their defense, Clinton Dix set the early tone with the pick 6. Mitchell Trubisky and Taylor Gabriel hooked up for 3 second-quarter touchdowns, and the Bears held off the Washington Redskins on primetime Monday night 31-15. In terms of your biggest winners and losers of the week, I got to look at the 49ers. Wasn't pretty, but you look at one of those games, that's one of those games that you say to yourself, bad teams lose, good teams win. The Niners found a way to win in spite of significantly losing the turnover battle, in spite of turning the ball over 5 times. You might not fully truly believe in the 49ers just yet, but maybe we should because now they're 3-0. The Jacksonville Jaguars, after that opening week loss to the Chiefs, where Nick Foles went down with the injury, he's out for a while. Now the Jaguars, all they've done is come back and win this past week. They needed this win. You're sitting there, 1-2? So it's not great, but it's something. You feel like you got a little bit of something with Gardner Minshew. You were about a couple inches away with Leonard Fournette and that 2-point conversion from beating the Texans the week before. If the Jaguars had any hopes of staying in that race in the AFC South, they had to win week 3, and that's exactly what they did. And the Detroit Lions, they're 2-0-1, second straight week win against a so-called quality opponent, this time on the road against the Eagles. I don't know if I'm a believer yet in the Lions either, but it's a good early start for them. Just imagine if they hadn't screwed the pooch on the road in week 1 against Arizona, what we'd be thinking about the Lions. In terms of the losers, Los Angeles Chargers. Second straight week that they lost a game they should have won. That's what bad teams do. Maybe it's time to start reconsidering what we thought about this Chargers team, because the last couple of weeks they have not been good. And they had a lead against the Texans on Sunday, and they blew it. They screwed it, and that's a shame on them. The Seattle Seahawks. You're facing Bridgewater, not Drew Brees. You're at home. You're 2-0. You don't expect them to go out there and lay the damn egg that they did. That's one of those things about a Pete Carroll team sometimes. Is every once in a while you go into one of those games and they just get boat raced by somebody they shouldn't. You look at that game and you say, hey, while they didn't have Brees in there, Bridgewater was okay. They coached him in a way to game plan for him in a way to minimize Bridgewater's potential mistakes. It was a total team effort. Running game, defense, special teams. Seahawks looked really bad. They could have really used this game. Here was a chance to take on a potential quality opponent without their biggest star, their future first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. And instead, he got dominated pretty badly at home. And then I look at the Cleveland Browns. All that hype, and you are 1-2. All that hype about the weapons on offense, and you scored 13 points. All that hype about Baker Mayfield. And I'm sorry, folks, but as much as I've been trashing on Trubisky, what the hell is the difference with Baker Mayfield? And if you say anything at this point other than potentially that, hey, through the first 3 weeks of this season, Baker's been worse, then you're wrong. You're just wrong. You can blame the offensive play calling and the play design and the scheme. You're running a draw on 4th and 9. On a 3rd and 5, deep in your own territory, you're running all goes. You got another play in the 4th quarter where you got 3 guys literally a yard and a half, 2 yards from each other running the exact same route at damn near the exact same depth. Like, those types of things are head-scratching, make you wonder if Freddie Kitchens is in over his head. Their old line coach, Bob Wiley, might be right. Either way, the Browns, with all that hype, back-to-back primetime games in this season, they beat a decimated Jets team, and then they come back here and they get beat at home by the Rams. Yikesy, yikesies. Your Week 3 stars of the week. At quarterback, I could have went with Kyle Allen because he deserved it with the 4 touchdown passes, but I'll go with Daniel Jones. He threw for over 300 yards, had 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 more on the ground. You talk about a guy that the Giants got a lot of heat for taking number 6 overall in the draft. He came out in that 1 week, and you saw a night and day difference between him and Eli Manning. If you're a Giants fan and you're ever pining for the days of Eli Manning again, you're a fool. Those best days are way, way, way in the past. Let him go, move on, and hope to God that Daniel Jones can prove to be that guy. Christian McCaffrey had over 180 total yards and a 76-yard touchdown run in a winning effort for the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey, run CMC, is having a phenomenal start through 3 games to this 2019 season. Keenan Allen, in a losing effort, had 13 catches, 180-plus yards, and 2 touchdowns. And I look at that and I say, man, it's a shame he didn't win because we've talked about just how great and dominant of a performance that was. The tight end position, I'll go with rookie 3rd-round pick out of Ole Miss, Dawson Knox. He only had 3 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown, but his team won. He's 3-0, and he had one of the beastiest beast plays that we're going to see all of 2019. That run down the sideline where he's stiff-arming multiple people, throwing them to the ground. You're like, yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah. Fucking beast. Bills fans, you got yourself a good one. His best football is still ahead of him. In terms of the defense and special teams of the week, I'd like to call out here the Jaguars. Thursday night, you're at home. You give up 7 points. You sack Marcus Mariota 9 times. It was a dominant performance when your team really, really needed it. With the 0-2 start, with all the distraction of Jalen Ramsey's trade demand, you go out there and you lay a whooping on a divisional opponent. That's got to feel good. But to close this video out this week, in the 2-minute drill, I want to talk about Baker Mayfield. Because here's my thing, is as much crap as I give the Bears, and frankly, other people give the Bears for in that 2017 draft, passing on both Mahomes and Watson, leave it to the Bears, of course, to have their choice of any of the 3 quarterbacks and take the third best one, and he's so far behind him, you get the point. But how come the Browns don't get crap for passing on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson? If you're a Browns fan, you have to hope to God at this point that Baker Mayfield can even be sniffing the stratosphere of Deshaun Watson in terms of his career arc and trajectory, let alone Patrick freaking Mahomes, who looks like he's damn near the best quarterback in the NFL already and is going to be for the next 10 to 15 years. Well, you can say, well, the Browns at least took Myles Garrett number 1 overall. That's great. But who in the fuck would you rather have? Myles Garrett or goddamn Patrick Mahomes? And you can talk about situations, and you can make up this excuse, and you can make up that excuse. But all the crap that the Bears get for taking Trubisky, how about the Browns for passing on all 3 of them? And then the next year they come back and they take Baker Mayfield, and he's trash. He was a lot better last year than what the hell we've seen through 3 games. This thing has the potential to go sideways in a big damn hurry. Baker looks scared. He's launching balls 10 yards over receiver's head. He looks terrible. His play calling isn't helping him. The head coach, Freddie Kitchens, seems to be in over his head. You got Landry and Beckham. They're not going to be very happy with this for too much longer. As much as I've been talking about Trubisky, and other people are talking about Trubisky and how bad he is, when do we start talking about just how bad Baker's been? Because as bad as we might think Mitchell has been, Baker Mayfield has been worse. You don't even need the stats to tell you that. Just use your eyes. He sucked. I'm sorry, Cleveland, but you better hope to God he figures it out quickly. Otherwise, this thing is going to go sideways really fast.